We've got the Vbase transition, but do you want to do the Christchurch Northern Corridor first, and then we'll see how long that goes for? You're easy? You're happy to sit around? Hey?
I'm more than happy to leave for a while.
Well, do you want to? Okay.
I'll go now if you want, and you do the Vbase as we've gone.
But you'll come back for the...
I couldn't stay away from you.
Oh, thank you. Could you get me a cup of something? Yeah.
Yep, it's black, isn't it?
Yeah, long black, yeah.
It should be relatively straightforward though. So we've dealt with this item, I think it was last council meeting anyway, so it's really just noting.
It's a noting paper, but I'm just being strictly appropriate. Hang on, wait. Let me just open this up. So as Jamie has said, this is a noting plan, but I really would like staff just to give a quick overview before we go further. So yeah, okay. Thank you.
Apologies for Linda, who's the author of the paper, who's not away this week. So this, what was that?
I've emailed Lee.
Oh right, oh great, yes, and Len's on his way down. But this paper is just after the decision last week around the reorganisation of Vbase. The council asked for a report on the transition plan. This is just a transition plan at a high level, so there's a lot of detail that will sit in behind this, but this is just giving an indication about how we intend to progress and over what time frame. So it was a clear message from both the Vbase board and council that you wanted this transition to happen quickly, and so we are actually moving forward at pace now. So open to questions.
Thank you. Now, Andrew.
Thank you. It's the wording of the report and possibly some of the wording in the table that concerns me, just reflecting previous conversations that have been had. So 4.2, the key deliverables and expected timing to establish the new CCOs. So it seems as though we're going to an end point that there will be new CCOs. That may or may not, of course, be the case. And then that translates into establishment of entities with constitutions and appointment of directors and so on. If the outcome was not to establish a new CCO, and it may not be, clearly there would be some differences in those steps that don't seem to be reflected either in the report or in the table. The table and the report seems to assume that the endpoint will be the establishment of new CCOs. There are obviously alternatives that I hope will be considered.
Right. Actually, that's probably just poor use of language, and apologise for that, because it's maybe new look CCOs or revised CCOs, because the intent was actually that the Vbase company and potentially a subsidiary company are the ones that actually move forward, but they may just be rebranded or reorganised. So new is not the right terminology.
Yeah, and also thinking of the events company, so what currently is Vbase Operations, depending where that lands, there may or may not be a need to appoint directors.
Yes, that's correct. Well, you would need to appoint directors of the company, but they may be directors of another, of a holding company or something. Yep. Yeah. So it's probably poor use of language. Apologies.
Yeah. As long as this is taken in the context of you know, there are a raft of outcomes that need to be considered, and the result may not be necessarily the creation of a new CCO.
Absolutely. Yep. Definitely.
So I don't think that the noting provision is problematic, is it? It's just the phrase new CCOs. That is.
Yeah. Yes, it's the language in the report as opposed to the actual resolution.
Yeah. So notes that the summary transitional plan for separating the current Vbase facilities ownership and event management activities into two council-controlled organisations. Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, we can't amend the paper as such, but I just wonder, how do we highlight that we're not,
Perhaps you could just add consistent with the former resolutions.
yeah, consistent with the resolutions.
Of whatever date that.
Yeah,
of
well,
28th.
consistent with the resolutions on the 28th of June and, yeah, the consistent with the resolution on the 28th of June.
Yep.
Yep,
Great.
cool. So, are you now happy to move it?
Yes.
Right.
Actually, yeah.
You'd rather not?
Given the resolutions on the 28th of June, maybe I shouldn't.
Okay, all right. So Jamie will move it, and it will be seconded by Aaron. Any further questions? Any discussion? I'll put the motion. All those in favour say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. That's carried.